Hello and good evening. I hope you're well. So just put in the chat box, who are you, where are you, and how are you feeling? Okay, I can see we've got Mr. Grosvenor, we've got Solomon, we've got Milan, Terence, Alan, Yanmin. How are you all doing? It's Paul Smith here. So just put something in the chat box to tell me that you can hear me, if you can. And I hope you can see the screen. Okay, the numbers are going up nicely. We've got 24. We're 15 minutes ahead of time. So we got Eddie, we got Rabbi. Oh, we got all sorts of people. James, David, Michael, Stephen, John, Robert, Damien, Sammy. Wow. Good evening, everybody. So, as I always do before these things start, if you've got any questions you want to ask me about service accommodation, or Solomon, hi, Nick, good audio. Solomon, hope all is well. Yeah, all good, my end. Solomon, hear loud and clear. Very well, thank you. Good. So we've got a good webinar. We've got a good signal in place. So it's going to be good. So ahead of time, because we've got, 10, 15 minutes to go. What do you want to know? How can I help? How can I serve? Michael, all clear. Nick, good audio. Perfect. Numbers are shooting up. We've got 40 now. We've actually got 747 registered tonight. So good numbers. Okay, so from the people on the call already, how many service accommodation operators have we got, and what do you want to know? Hello, Paul. So where's everybody listening into from tonight? Tell me where you are, please, and if you're an SA operator or not already. Hello, Ranjiv. How are you doing? Okay, I think 2-3 more seconds. We're going to go through 50. We've got 48 at the moment. Oh, there we go. 51 already. I knew that would happen. Hi, Darren. How you doing? No, a couple of you saying, have I started already? No. Sam. Hi, Sam from Manchester. Darren, got one SA in Bournemouth. Cool. No, I haven't started. Well, I always come on these things early just to do a bit of a Q&A. So if anyone's got any questions that they want to ask me before we even start, I'll be delighted to try and answer. Brian, Dufftown, way up north. Whiskey Central, good. Ranjiv, Bournemouth, yeah, cool. One rent to rent and one buy to let. Darren, I'm doing good, thank you. How are you doing? Okay, Michael is asking me a question. Do you need special mortgages, Mick from Peterborough? Okay, we use specific mortgages. I don't know if they're special or not. We use commercial mortgages, and they are commercial Darren, I'm sweet, loving SA. Good. Pleased about that. So back to Michael's question. Sorry, I got distracted there, Michael, by that incoming chat from Darren. Do you need special mortgages? No, but you probably don't want to use generic mortgages. The mortgages you want need to be specific to service accommodation. So great question, Mick. So let me give you a few mortgage providers that will... Dave from Bulgaria. Brilliant. So, Mick, special mortgages, mortgage providers that are happy with service accommodation, let me put it that way around. So write these things down. Market Harborough Building Society. Okay. Next one, Cambridge and Counties Bank. Next one, Lloyds. Next one, Metro Bank. So there's plenty of people doing these things. You just need to be clear which ones work for you. Okay, next up. So we've got Justin from Surrey. Okay, hello, Justin from Surrey. Justin's got some holiday lets on the Isle of Wight. I struggle with Booking.com. They're a nightmare compared to Airbnb. Looking forward to this. Well, yeah. Booking.com are sometimes difficult to become a partner of, but once you are, they are absolutely the best. And I respect why they don't want to partner with everybody, because there's some not savoury people out there. So we'll probably talk about that later on during the actual webinar proper. So for all of you just joining us, this isn't the webinar proper. This is just the pre Q&A, because that's just what I do. I turn up 15 minutes early and I say hello to everybody and take questions early. So yeah, many people say that Booking.com are difficult to get used to, but everybody says that once you're with Booking.com and you're a partner of Booking.com, you get more bookings from them than everybody else combined. Okay, Vasius, hi, how you doing? Brian is saying, can I use my SAS, SSAS, which is his pension, to invest in my limited company if I have a mixture of SA and buy-to-let? Depends how you do it, Brian. You could. It would need to be a loan from your SAS. If you want to do direct investment from your SAS, it can only, of course, be commercial property. You can't go and stick money into residential property from a pension without severe penalties. It's a 55% marginal tax rate, so please don't do that. Okay, so John is now saying, hang on, so many questions pinging in. I need to get the question back in front of me. If you're doing rent to rent with SA, is it your moral responsibility to make sure the landlord is not in breach of their mortgage terms when they have an AST? Great question, John. What I would say to that is, please be absolutely clear with your rent to rent partner what it is that you're going to do. And when they sign the management contract, please make sure that the management contract says we are going to do short-term lettings. But, I'm not my brother's keeper, because even if it's right, and even if you request sort of copies of the statements and whatever else, how do you know they're not going to go and remortgage with somebody else 2 months later? So please be very, very, very clear with any potential JV or rent-to-rent partners what you're doing. And then I think it's over to them. You can't be responsible for everybody else. Okay, so Brian is saying, it took a while to set up Booking.com, but they are now 96% of my bookings. Wow, that's a lot. So yeah, absolutely massive. John, hope you and your family are all good. Yeah, we are. Thank you, John. Hope you too. Hi, Mark. Hi, Aniko, behind the scenes. Yes, John saying that. Yeah, cool. So let's just pop back over here. So we've got 108 live. So there's 108 people on the call so far. We've got 763 registered according to my screen. Most people will, of course, turn up when we start officially. There we go, 111 now. So this is just a little preamble. Peter, you're not late? No. we're just having a chat. This is some Q&A before, because that's what we do. Hello, Samantha. Ranjiv is saying hello to Aniko. Darren, hi Paul, hope you're well. Hello from Darren at Open Door Service Accommodation. Peter. Waldron. Oh, that's confusing me. Hi Paul from Ron in Chichester. Michelle, how you doing? This is absolutely fantastic. We're at 115 now. So we're climbing and climbing and climbing. So we're going to have hundreds of people on this call this evening. I hope you're looking forward to it as much as I am, because 118 now. We've got, this is all brand new content, new slides, new content, new presenters. It's all good. It is absolutely all good. Oh, I love that. Couldn't do it without you, Chris. Hello, Paul. Chris from Harrogate. Hello, Chris from Harrogate. How are you doing? So we've got Dilip, we've got Michelle. Michelle saying, looking forward to this web and meeting at the end of March. Perfect. Okay, so John is saying, is it best to self-manage your SA for the first couple and then get others involved to help cleaning, linen, channel manager, etc.? No, no, sorry. Don't impose my views on anyone, John. What I would do is get set up, outsource from the get-go. So, yeah, it's... oh, God, I'm getting battered here with questions, which is good. We've got 3-4 minutes to go. I'm getting people telling me how many are on the call now, 151. Yeah, I know, Ranjiv, they're coming in. They will. Can't keep up with you. Blimey, the question's coming in too fast. Darren is saying, how are you finding the revenue manager through Kigo? Because I did some training on it today. It's good for us. How's it for you, Darren? Toyin, hi Toyin, how you doing? Hello, Paul. Looking forward to hearing all the inspiring. I'm going to guess you spelt my name wrong because you said Payal. I'm going to guess that's Paul. You're in a playful mood tonight. We've got 164 on the call. Good. It's going up and up and up. Ollie, how you doing? Good evening. Darren, I'll let you know when I grasp it. He's talking about the revenue manager. You have definitely had a long week, you lot. You just 171. Yes, thank you, Ranjiv. We can all see that. Yeah. We're looking forward to the webinar. Mark from Sussex. Graham, what time can we grill Booking.com? Well, I hope you're going to be appropriately respectful and interested, Graham. Grill, I'm going to guess it's going to be maybe 8:45, but don't hold me to that, plus minus 5 minutes. So, Marilyn from Scotland, excited to learn. Me too, Marilyn. Ranjiv, you're excited. I never would have guessed. You keep posting how many people are in the room. Devinder, good evening. Evening. So, yeah, we've just gone through 200 now. Yeah, hundreds of people on the call. So I'm going to check my watch. I think we've got 1 minute to go. Daniela from Aberdeen, how you doing? Matthew, bring it on. Vorna, good evening. We've got a lot of good people on the call tonight. Wow, we've just busted 200. We've gone way north of 200. So it's all good. Absolutely all good. Bally, how you doing? Vorna, yay. Michelle, hi Paul. Hello. Mike Cruikshank, hello big man. How you doing? So, okay, I'm going to give it 30 seconds. Daniel, good evening. Mark Ashworth, first timer here in Kelso. Kelso, wonderful. Recommended by one of your regular attendees. Okay, so I am going to start any second. In fact, I'm going to start this second because it is now 8 o'clock. And I am absolutely delighted to be able to welcome each and every one of you to this webinar. We have got hundreds of people on the call, which is fabulous. And I want to give each and every one of you as much value as I can. So what we're going to be talking about tonight, in conjunction with Booking.com, is proven systems to generate passive income. We know firsthand, and many of you that have worked with us know firsthand, it's entirely possible to generate £1,000 a month cash flow or more per month from a single property that would have previously, as a buy-to-let, perhaps generated 100, 150, maybe £200 as an income. And then over and above that, put in place all of these wonderful tax changes that the Chancellor is imposing on us, and buy-to-lets are not so attractive anymore, which is one of the many reasons why I want to be working in service accommodation. So let's get right down to it. First up, let me introduce my wonderful wife, partner, business partner, Anniko. So we are Paul and Anniko, and together we do service apartments. So I want to get right into the detail here. This is a pretty busy chart, and I hope you find it useful. The vertical axis is from short to long in terms of implementation time, and the horizontal axis across the middle of the screen there is from low to high in terms of cash flow. Now what you see right in the middle there, I've chosen to take a reference point at the 00 as a buy-to-let. A buy-to-let will typically, across most of the UK, give you 7% return. What does return mean? Return means take the monthly income times by 12 and divide by the capital value of the asset. I'll say that again. Take the monthly income times by 12 and divide by the capital value of the asset. How much money are you getting back on your money? So that's a buy-to-let. Now, if you've got cash in bank at the moment, if you're lucky, you'll be getting 1%. Less than inflation, it's disappearing. Now, the green bubbles are the size of them refers to the amount of money you get, and the green means it's recurring. The reds are one-off, and the orange is mixed. So depending on the strategy that you're following, you're either going to be going to get recurring income, or you're going to be getting one-off with strategies like lease options, commercial conversions, and new build. It kind of depends, because with new build, it depends whether you keep it or sell it. So if you look through that cash flow quadrant for property income, you'll see you've got lots and lots of choices. So cash in bank, I've got some cash, what am I going to do with it? Well, probably don't keep it in the bank, because it's probably going to lose money. You could give the same money to a property investor, and that person will probably give you 5, 6, 7% return on your money. And it's asset backed and it's safe. So probably don't keep it in the bank. You could buy new build, but new build depreciates. You could buy a package deal. Absolutely. The deal packager is going to give you a great value, so it will be better than buying new build. You could buy off plan, but off plan is going to take far longer because it hasn't been built yet. You could do HMOs. HMOs are great. They take longer than buy-to-lets, because typically you're buying a house and turning it into an HMO, and then you're refinancing it. You could do flips. Nothing wrong with flips. Flips are good, but flips are definitely one-off, because a flip is you're buying it and you're selling it. So when you've sold it, there is no residual income. So the two strategies in my mind that stand out above and beyond all the others in terms of the amount of money you get and potentially consider putting these together are service accommodation, because it's quick. It's normal properties that you're turning into service accommodation, or commercial conversions. The commercial conversions will take a lot longer, but here's the thing. When you're doing a commercial conversion, why would you turn it into a normal buy-to-let? Why wouldn't you combine the two? Commercial conversions into service accommodation. That way, you can do all the same work that you would have done anyway, but now instead of turning it into a buy-to-let, you then commercial conversion to service accommodation. So I hope that chart helps. I know it's a bit busy, and I hope you find it interesting. So that's the property cash flow quadrant. So let's now look at this, because I've been asked this quite a few times. If service accommodation is such a good idea, how come not everybody's doing it? Well, because they can't. First reason is because they don't know how to. But let's look at it from a technological and a time frame perspective. 10 years ago, service accommodation was definitely not possible because the internet was, I don't know if anybody out there remembers this or whatever, it was all on dial-up modems. Do you remember the squeaky things that used to drive you nuts? Page refreshing, and you go to bed, you get up in the morning and the page is still refreshing. So the speed of the internet has gone, it's got 2 zeros on it compared to 10 years ago. E-commerce. Do you remember all the stories in the papers 5-6 years ago about, oh no, don't put your credit card on the internet because everyone's going to steal all your money? Well, e-commerce is now a reality, and the vast majority of normal people are happy with it. They will put their credit card into some sort of web application because they trust that either they're going to get what they asked for or they're going to get some sort of refund. Globalization is a really, really big thing. All around the world, we're adopting similar systems. Booking.com is now in something like 190 countries in the world. That wasn't the case 10 years ago, or even 5 years ago. Individual tastes, preferences are developing very fast. I've got a friend of mine in York. He developed some stables in his garden. That sounds very grand. He lives in a normal house and he's got some ground, but it's not a country estate or anything. He's got like half an acre. But behind his house, he's got a couple of buildings that used to be stables, and he's developed them in a very nice and quirky way. So it's essentially a studio flat, or 2 studio flats. And imagine this, you've got a little kitchenette, you've got a little tiny sitting area, and then you've got a nice double bed. But he didn't have enough room for a bathroom. So what he did was he put the bath at the end of the bed. Now, a normal person is not going to buy a flat or a studio flat where the bathroom is part of the living room. But as a serviced apartment, it's entirely acceptable. So he's got a bed. He's then got a bath, literally at the end of the bed, one of these cast iron baths with the big feet, the Falcon, or the whatever it is, and a big TV on the wall at the far end. So as a quirky service accommodation unit, it's fine. As somewhere where you go and live, no chance. But, that's not the point. The more individual you can make these things, the better. Global travel is now a reality. I think I was 19 or 20 before I even got a passport. I didn't need a passport because I never left the UK. Global travel is now an absolute reality. EasyJet is flying to North Africa. Jet2 has just announced it's going to be flying to New York. The budget airlines mean that each and every one of us can travel within reason, wherever we want, whenever we want, at a very affordable price. Mobile devices, where have they come from? 70% of all internet e-commerce transacted is now via some sort of mobile device. Now, a mobile device is a tablet or smaller. So a tablet or a phone or whatever. So mobile devices generally have absolutely blitzed into this market. We've got permanent connectivity because most of our mobile devices can connect either via Wi-Fi or via 3G or 4G or whatever. And in addition to that, many websites now remember our credit card details. So all we need to do is put in our CCV code, or maybe even just our PIN code. So that's a really, really big change. And this is huge. We've now got global trusted service accommodation brands. If it was a question of going to, I'm living in the UK and I want to go to Canada, and I've got a website called Dodgy Dens Condos, well, I'm not going to trust that. But if I'm going to Canada and I'm booking something through Airbnb or Booking.com, I'm going to be fine with that. I'm going to be absolutely fine with that. So we've got global, trusted service accommodation brands. And finally, all of us that want to do this, well, I don't know about you, but for me, I want to run a business. I don't want a job, which means I need to leverage this stuff. So the systems, the technological systems to allow me to leverage it have come on leaps and bounds in the last 5 years. And over and above that, we've got sites like Fiverr or People Per Hour or Upwork. So not only have we got systems, technical systems, channel managers, finance packages that allow us to leverage all that work. In addition to that, we've got the ability to outsource the practical manual labor that we don't want to do to third parties in very well educated, lower wage economies around the world. That means that we can leverage the entire business very, very efficiently. So I hope that explains, or I hope that helps to explain my thought process as to why people weren't doing this 10 years ago. Because if I go back, not even that far, maybe even 10, 12 years, when we were booking holiday homes, we were doing it from a catalogue, like a physical paper catalogue. And there would be a changeover day. And the changeover day would be a Friday or a Saturday or maybe a Thursday. And you could book a week. You couldn't book 3 days or 2 days or 1 day. It just was not possible because we didn't have the technology to be able to do it. So if you're thinking about doing this, and if you're wondering why didn't people do it before, because they couldn't. So now is the best time to do this because the technology to allow it to happen has just been made available to each and every one of us. And if you look more broadly at the opinion formers within the industry, like Savills are clearly saying, go and look at Savills' report for service accommodation for 2017, 2018. Savills are clearly saying the demand for service accommodation will double over the next 2 years. So we've got the technological capability to do this at a very affordable price, virtually nothing, and we've got a huge and increasing market demand. So you put those two things together, and this is the opportunity that you need to jump on right now. Okay, so let's look at how Booking.com and the other engines bring the world to us. So if we start with the 7 billion people that are in the world, and this begins to be quite magical. So this is the base of the pyramid. This is everybody on the planet. About half of the planet are internet users. So we're down to 3 billion people as potential customers. A fraction of those, around about 1 billion, interface with the OTAs, the online travel agents. And the online travel agents are bringing a massive proportion of the world to us. Not everybody wants to come to our country, so depending which country you're living in, a percentage of those OTA users will be interested in coming to us. A percentage of those will be interested in coming to our town, and a percentage of those will be interested in coming to our property. But here's the point. Anybody that's got internet connectivity can connect directly with us. No barriers, no customs, no passports. The world can suddenly discover our property individually if we market to them properly. Now, the biggest of all of the OTAs is Booking.com, who we're delighted to be working with this evening. And Booking.com on a daily basis are taking 1.2 million. So 1,200,000 bookings per day. Now, if you're anything like me, you've got to repeat that figure a few times to get your head around it properly. It is absolutely enormous. A fantastic opportunity being brought to your doorstep on a daily basis by the internet, specifically by a trusted brand. So Booking.com and the others are bringing us customer after customer after customer. And we don't have to do anything apart from display our adverts properly on Booking.com, Airbnb, Expedia, Late Rooms, and the rest. So, how can we safely bring the world to you? Well, if we look at the various third-party booking sites, and there are many more than this, but these are some of the bigger ones. So we've got Airbnb, we've got Expedia, and Booking.com, which is easily the biggest. Then please don't try and do this without a channel manager. So what is a channel manager? A channel manager is a piece of software that interfaces between your properties and the world, and it gives a two-way update on rates and availability. Now, let's say, for instance, like us, you are live and registered with 38 different online travel agents. Imagine you not doing this by using a piece of software called a channel manager. Imagine you're doing this manually, and you get a booking in from Booking.com. What have you got to do now? You've got to go and manually update 37 other booking engines, hoping that you don't get a double booking in the process, which will cost you money. And that's just the start of it, because now you've got to try and take payment, because Booking.com is what it says on the tin. It's a booking. It's not payment.com. You've got to take the payment. And if the card payment fails because somebody's given you the wrong expiry date, what are you going to do now? And even if the card payment goes through first time manually, you've now got to tell the cleaner. You've now got to tell the guest, thank you for your booking. You've now got to tell the guest, where have they got to go? How do they get in? But let's say the guest is booked 4 months ahead. The chances of them still having your booking email the day before they're going to try and arrive, 0. So these are all the reasons, and I'm labouring the point slightly to emphasize that please don't try and do this manually. The number of electronic transactions per booking is way in excess of 100. Updating all the other booking engines, updating all the calendars, advising cleaners, dealing with card payments, sending in the gardener. If you've got a house or whatever, then all of these things need to be dealt with by someone. And my preference is it's not you. So a channel manager. Bring the world to you easily. Don't bring the world to you in such a way that it causes you to stress out, fall over, and pass out. Now, specifically this evening, we are partnering with Booking.com, who are, number 1, fabulous, number 2, huge, and number 3, they need to be learned to be dealt with properly. To try and have a service accommodation business without dealing with Booking.com is like trying to have an internet business without dealing with Google. It's just not possible. They are the biggest in the industry. Now, I appreciate they're not always easy, but there are reasons why they've got various protocols in place. So, imagine this. You see an apartment for sale. You go and see it. You take some pictures. You use that information to create a Booking.com listing, and you put it on Booking.com. Now, if they didn't do what they did and verify that you are the owner or control of that property, then you could very easily start taking bookings for that property right here and right now. I'd say, all right, I'm going to come and stay with you, John. I want to come and stay with you, John, for a month. I give you the money. I then turn up at John's doorstep, and it turns out John is not John. John doesn't own the apartment. Somebody else owns the apartment, and they live there. I'm rat-a-tat-tatting on the door, and I say, oh, hello, John. I've paid you a month's money. I'm coming to live with you now. And John says, who are you? And this, unfortunately, happened time after time after time after time, which is why Booking.com had to put in the protocols that they did. Booking.com needs to verify that you control the property that you want to list with them. And Booking.com charge a fee. They charge 15% normally. You can pay more, but they normally charge 15%. So it's the second level of data that Booking.com wants to make sure is valid and true. They want to make sure that after 2-3 months of bookings, they're sending you bills, because you're taking 100% of the money. They're giving you the booking, you're taking 100% of the money. They want to make sure you're actually paying the invoices that they send to you. So for those of you out there that are thinking, oh, well, you know, Booking.com, they're a pain. I think they're a pain for a reason. The reason is that people are taking advantage. And it'd be a wonderful world if nobody took advantage of anybody. So to get whitelisted with Booking.com takes a few months, and it's painful sometimes. But you got to do it, because if you don't do it, as I said earlier, it's like trying to have an internet business without using Google. It's just not possible. So here is the cash flow secret. It's 3 steps, and here's the secret, and you probably want to write this down. The world will be brought to you. The world will absolutely be brought to you. And it's going to be brought to you by the various online travel agents, the OTAs. So whether it's TripAdvisor, HomeAway, Expedia, Airbnb, or Booking.com, which is the biggest, that's going to give you money. But in order to be able to make the cash flow secret give you money, you've got to be able to control the OTAs, and you've got to be able to control the way the world comes to you. So there's the first secret I wanted to share with you this evening, and I hope you find this useful. What I'd like to understand from you next is why you're here tonight. So I'm just going to put a poll up now, and I'd like you to click on the poll. You should all be able to see that on the right hand side of the screen. So we'll all be here for different reasons. Okay, people have got the hang of that, and away we go. So we've put up what we know from experience are the 6 major reasons why people are here tonight. So quite often people are here because they want more money. Their life is hard, their life is difficult, they're working hard for a living, and they just need more money. Quite often people are here because they want more time. Perhaps they've got a decent job, they've got some money, maybe they've had an inheritance, I don't know, maybe you even won the lottery. So the 3 most common reasons are money, time, and education. Now I'm just going at the live poll at the moment, and I can see money is at 36% and education is at 44%. So easily, time after time after time, those 2, money and education, are far and away the most important. We're always interested in why people have decided to spend their time with us. And by the way, thank you very much, each and every one of you, for giving up your evening to come and spend time to learn about service apartments and how you can make service apartments work for you. But the other reasons that we find people are with us are support. Because everybody knows it's possible to make a massive amount of money through property. Many people know the technical realities of how they actually do that. And I'm going to quote pure John DeMartini at you now. The skill set without the mindset will just leave you upset. Many people find that they need support in order to translate the potential or the desire into action. Change. We've got 4% of you saying that you want to change something in your life, which is great. We've got 2% of you talking about pensions. Now, I find that remarkable in the sense that, okay, let me ask you a different question and just bang this in the chat box, and Aniko will deal with that. Aniko's dealing with the chat box. Can you just tell Aniko if the pension that you're going to retire on is something that you're looking forward to? Who's got a pension that means they can retire in the absolute lap of luxury? So the percentages are changing a little bit now. We've got 35% of people are here tonight for money. We've got 5% of people here for time, 44% for education, 8% for support, 4% that want to change their life, and just 2% for pensions. Okay, well, the Office for National Statistics just published data last week that said, and I don't know why they're so far behind, they just published 2011 data. So the 2011 data is that versus 20 years before, the average male in the UK is now going to live to 83 years old. And that's an increase of 8 years over 20 years. That's a lot. And the average female is going to live to 87 years old. On what is my question? We're all living a lot longer, and unless we have more money to help us live the way that we want to live, I think we're just going to be more and more miserable. Now, the other question I'd like to be put into the chat box is something else. So we've got 3% of you saying that you're not here primarily for money, time, education, support, change, or pension. You're here for some other reason. Now, I'd just be fascinated to learn what your other reason might be. So if you don't mind, for the 3% of you that have said something else, I'd just be really fascinated to find out what that is. Okay, so I'm going to start moving through how we can help you if you want more money, more time, more education, more support to change your life or your pension. Okay, so money. How can service accommodation help with regards to money? So if you are stressed out of your head and you need to get to a place of equilibrium and you want to be more relaxed, then each and every service accommodation unit that you can add to your portfolio is going to add probably £1,000 a month to your passive income. The average salary in the UK is £24,000, £25,000, £26,000 a year. In London, it's £28,000, £29,000 a year. So the average person needs 2 or possibly 3 service apartments to get from a situation of stress to a position of control. And I find it deeply scary that within just a very few weeks, most people with the right training, the right education, the right support can have 2, 3, 4 service apartments. And as soon as most people go past 2 service apartments, they go past the average salary. So within just a few months, you can have a portfolio that will replace most people's salary in the UK. And if that's something you're interested in, then please listen on. Because I just want to give you a few examples. So here is one that we launched in, I think it was October last year. It's called The Regent in Walsall. And if you're wondering why it's called The Regent, that sounds a bit grand. Well, give your properties a name. So if it's in Regent Street, or if it's number 7 Regent Avenue, then turn it into something like The Regent when you're advertising it on booking.com. It sounds better, it is better, and you'll get more bookings and you'll get more money for it. So looking down the right-hand side, you can see the entrance, you can see the bedroom 1, you can see the bedroom 2, and I hope you'd agree that they look pretty nice. These are nice places to live. So as a buy-to-let, the Regent in Walsall used to garner in £510 a month, which gave the landlord £160 a month profit. We went live 14th of October last year with this unit in our portfolio, and since then we've enjoyed a 94% occupancy. Now I need to warn you, that's high. The Midlands generally and Scotland are the 2 places where there is the biggest shortfall of service accommodation versus demand in the UK at the moment. So the average occupancy for service accommodation throughout the whole of the UK is 70%. And the average occupancy in London is 80%. So 94% is high. Now in the last 2 weeks of October, we gathered in £1,680 of revenue. So if we put that across the month and we take our benchmark 40% profit from that, the profit from that is £1,344. It's been booked absolutely solid since opening. In December, we took £2,850. The profit in December was £1,240. If you take the 40% logic. Now the 40% logic is this. If you're a decent service apartment operator, you will make 40% profit on your turnover, on your revenue. The actual profit that we showed in December for that unit was £1,499. But we've been doing this a while. We've got systems in place. I wouldn't want you to rely on that higher figure. So whenever I'm showing you these turnover figures, I'm going to be showing you a profit figure at 40%, not what we did, because it wouldn't be fair to expect you to do from day one what we do. The second unit in Walsall is just coming live, and it's already been booked out for the next 6 months. There is a company wants to take it from us from February right the way through to July. So put the right unit in the right place, and it will be completely, absolutely, totally life-changing. So the profit that you're seeing there is probably equivalent to 10 buy-to-lets. It's one unit, and that one is a rent-to-rent. So one rent-to-rent unit could easily give you the profit that 10 properties that you bought and rented out on a normal traditional buy-to-let basis would give you. And that booking for the next 6 months is £16,500. So look, £500 a month. So per year, that's what? Just over £6,000. That's close on 3 years revenue as a buy-to-let in one 6-month booking. These are absolutely life-changing figures. Fast. So let's say you want more time. Let's say you're stressed, like this guy running for the bus. Let's say you want to spend more time with your family, playing Monopoly or board games, or whatever it is you want to do. I don't want to impose my values on you. You want more time to do whatever it is that you want to do. So how can service accommodation give that to you? Well, if you put in place the systems and the procedures that we've got that we want to share with you, then you fully systemize and outsource your business, then you suddenly don't have a job. Because if I ask an average room of property investors, how many people out there have got a business? I'm going to say 30 to 40% of people will put their hand up. That's all right, business owners, keep your hands up. How many of you could take a week off? And probably 30% of the hands go down. And then I say, how many could take a month off? And probably 80% of the hands go down. And then say, okay, business owners, how many of you could take a year off? And 99% of the hands go down. Because if your business relies on you, that's not a business, that's a job. So the systems that we put in place make sure that you've got a business as opposed to a more highly paid job. So we know that not all of you will want to go into the detail of how you analyze deals in detail. So we have a deal analyzer. There's a cost to it. It's $395 plus VAT. You can go onto our website and you can buy it if you want to. So it's $395 plus VAT. So we've got systems. Systems are the things that save you time. We've got systems for pretty much everything. Systems for recruiting people, systems for analyzing deals, systems for taking money, systems for pretty much everything you need to do in your service accommodation business. So if you want that particular system, just go to our website now, investinyourdreams.co.uk, and you can buy that particular system. That's our deal analyzer. Most of you, interestingly tonight, said you were here for education. So I hope you are finding tonight's session educational. It's a completely new session, never been delivered before, completely new slides. So the solution we want to offer you, if you're interested in education, is working with us. We would love to work with you to educate you. Education and training is my highest value. That is the thing that I love doing more than anything else. I love public speaking and training. So that was me on stage working with Progressive Property last year. That was at the Pullman Hotel just by St Pancras. And that was a multiple streams event. That's a 3-day event. And by coincidence, I'm just doing it all again tomorrow in London, multiple streams event. So multiple streams event of property income starting tomorrow, Holiday Inn Bloomsbury. So if you want to come and see me public speaking and training, well, that's exactly what you see me doing to hundreds and hundreds of people. From an educational point of view, I've written many magazine articles. So there's one. That's from last year. That's from 2016. So a service accommodation masterclass. So that's the YPN magazine. And this month, actually, we're back in the YPN again. myself and my lovely Aniko, talking about service accommodation again, because, well, that's what we love talking about. So if it is education that you want, we would absolutely love to work with you. Now, in terms of support, how can we support you? Because I think it was 7-8% of you said that you were needing support. What support can we offer? Well, we can offer this right now. We can offer you membership of the service accommodation group. I'm just going to put a little offer up for you here. So there you go. Please feel free to join the service accommodation group. We've got thousands of people in. This is a Facebook group. So just click that link that I've just showed you now on the right-hand side of the screen to join us now. So this is a Facebook group. This is a closed group. So you'll need to, when you click on it, one of our moderators will need to let you in, which they will, of course. But we just don't want to open it to a load of spammers and people that are difficult and whatever else. So if you need support, we'd love to offer you support. Come and join the service accommodation group. Come and join a couple of thousand people talking about service accommodation, learning about service accommodation. It's a wonderful community. So it's the service accommodation group. Please feel free to join up right now. Just click on that link and request to join. And well, as soon as I'm off the webinar, I can start adding you in if that's what you want me to do. I think Aniko's doing it right now. Are you adding people in right now, Aniko? Okay. So Aniko's giving me the thumbs up. So I think a load of people are piling in there right now. So you've got the hang of that, because everybody needs support. Just jump in there and join 2,000 other people that are interested in developing a service accommodation business, but they want the ability to ask questions. What if this happens? What if that happens? How do I do this? What's your recommendation for that? Give me a solicitor, give me an accountant, give me a lawyer, give me a surveyor, give me a whatever you want. So we set that group up last year, and it's getting busier and busier and busier. So please come on over and be part of our Facebook community. And it's obviously completely free, and we'd love to have you with us. So thank you so many of you for joining with us in the service accommodation group. Okay, so perhaps the reason you're here is because you want change. You want to change the way your life's going. You are frustrated. You are not liking what's happening to you at the moment. Well, what can we do for you in that respect? This is more Aniko's area than mine. I do understand it, but she's the expert with it. There are 7 areas of life. And again, we're going pure DeMartini on you now, John DeMartini. And if you want to learn more about John DeMartini, by the way, I'm going to give you a very specific recommendation. I want you to go and buy a book. The book that I want you to go and buy and read is John DeMartini. So D.E. Martini, The Values Factor. That's where you've got to start. That is the seminal work. And he will talk about 7 areas of life. So we've got physical, social, familial, financial, vocational, mental, and spiritual. There's no right and wrong here. Many of us are strong in some of these areas and less strong in others. It doesn't really matter whether you're strong or less strong. It matters where you want to be. So if you've got a void, which is the gap between where you perceive yourself to be and where you would like to be, then that is the area that you need to work on. So in any of the 7 areas of your life, how can we help? Well, the main way we can help in the 7 areas of your life is we suggest as an initial start that you go and read The Values Factor, and we'll take it from there. Okay, so I hope that's helpful. Next, a good number of you said, well, pensions is an issue for me. We'd love to be able to work with you to show you how to turn your probably non-existent pension. So just put in the question box for me, or put in the chat box for me, and so Aniko can see it. How many of you are totally delighted and can't wait to retire on some life of opulence because you've got this fantastic pension you can't wait to get your hands on? So Is anybody coming back at you over there, Aniko, and saying that they've got a fabulous pension? I'm getting a shaky head from Aniko, which is normal. The vast majority of us have got this as a plan for our pension. Ostrich, head, sand. We know we're going to retire. We know we're going to live a long time, but we've no idea how we're going to pay for that. So a massive amount of the training and support that we offer is to do with putting people in a place where, when they retire, they're better off than when they're working. So if you'd like to be better off when you retire than when you're working, we want to work with you. So something else. Aniko, did anybody put anything in the box? Something else. There was a few people said they were here for some other reason. So how can we help them? Okay, so a few people said they were here for some other reason. I don't think they've actually shared that with Aniko, so I'm going to keep moving. I'm just going to share a couple of slides with you, if that's okay, about us. So what are Paul and Aniko all about? Paul and Aniko, you've got a picture of us there on the far left. That's our family, the next picture along. So we've got 6 children, and the wonderful, super special person in the Christmas jumper you can see in the middle there, that's Darcy May. She is our wonderful granddaughter. So we've got 6 children. 2 of our oldest children are married. We've got a granddaughter. Next over there, you can see our house. That's a picture of Dunera, where we live. And we do service departments. And what we want to get you to is that you've got a screenshot like that. That was a screenshot from a few days ago. And it's not unusual for us to have a screenshot on our phones that says we've just taken 7,000, well, in that case, £7,139.07, to be very specific, today. So we're very much family people, and we very much want to help other family people to help their loved ones to live the life that they should be entitled to. So just to share a little with you of our journey until 2013. 2013 is when we started working with Progressive. So we'd taken 10 years to get to 10 properties, and many people would say that's good, 1 property a year. Well, it was, but they're all buy-to-lets, and so the cash flow that we were enjoying was £3,500 a month. Now, I say this respectfully, because that's 1.5 times the UK annual average salary. It really wasn't enough for us. We needed more. 6 children, nice house, we love the Formula One. I had a job, job, just over broke, and I was working away from home. And I wanted to get to £10,000 a month of passive income. Because that was my figure. There's not a right and a wrong figure. That was my figure. So Aniko, it's saying that my laptop is going to die unless I plug it in. Can I get a power lead? Within the next 2 minutes. So it's taken us 10 years to get to 10 properties. Our job was working away from home, and I got the prospect of 20 more years to financial freedom. Because if it had taken me 10 years to get to £3,500, then it was obviously going to take me another 20 years to get to £10,000 unless I did something different. And then we got to financial freedom in just 6 months. How on earth did we do that? Well, we discovered service accommodation. Because if you take those same 10 buy-to-lets, good. Thank you, everybody. I'm still online. Thank you, Aniko. You rescued the situation there. It had taken me 10 years to get to 10 properties, but if I just turned those 10 properties into service apartments, and instead of £100, £200, £300 a month, they were giving me £1,000, £2,000 a month, bang, in one go, by pursuing a different strategy with the same assets, suddenly we achieve financial freedom. So what do? Well, we own property businesses. We used to be property investors. We now own property businesses. We've got two offices. We've got an office in Scotland. We've got an office in England, specifically in Helensburgh and Doncaster. We've got 19 wonderful staff. We've got a fabulous managing director, Abby. So they do all the things that we used to do so that we don't have to anymore. Our main focus, we do other things. We've got buy-to-lets, we've got HMOs, we've got other things. But our main focus is on service departments. And we serve the public primarily by public speaking, training, and education. So if you would like to work with us on any of those things, if you want to be trained and educated to operate service departments, then we would absolutely love to work with you. Our why is simple. We want to allow as many people as possible to do what we've done, which is discover how to achieve financial freedom. And I compare it in this very simple way. Most people are active for their entire lives, and most people end up in debt. That's active debt. We want to move people through to owning assets and enjoying passive income, because that's the stark reality. The vast majority of the population are involved in active debt. We want to move them through to passive income. Now again, to show you these four pictures here, you can see myself with little Darcy, and that's Jude. Jude at the time was 8, now 9. In that picture, we were Easter egg hunting in our garden. There you can see myself and Anniko on stage, sharing, hopefully inspiring other people. And in the next picture, I love this picture. That's Jenny, Jude, and Lydia looking at us on stage, absolutely enthralled. They'd been there for 2-3 days at that point. They're not on their iPhones. They're not on their iPads. They're not looking bored. They're looking interested. They're looking at mummy and daddy on stage. And what that allows us to do is have a truly mobile lifestyle. So that final picture is my laptop overlooking Lake Como last August, and that's where I was working from. Now, when I'm working, I'm putting inverted commas around that, because that's not work. For the last 2-3 years, I haven't worked a day in my life. I love what I'm doing. I absolutely love what I'm doing. And I want to share with you some wealth beliefs. I've never shared these with anybody on a webinar before. So here are my 3 wealth beliefs. So you might want to write these down. Here's my first wealth belief. My bank balance. Okay, so my bank balance is a fair reflection of my worth to the world. That might sound very harsh. It might sound very harsh specifically if your bank balance is quite low. My bank balance is a fair reflection of my worth to the world. If you want to change your bank balance, you need to change your worth to the world. Okay, so I'm not trying to upset anybody. I'm just sharing with you my wealth beliefs. Second, if others can do it, so can I. If others can do it, so can I. I do not accept other people on the planet can do things that I can't do. I don't apologize for that. I believe I can do what other people can do. And finally, I control my destiny. So many people in this country use they. I can't do this because they won't let me. They told me I can't. They said I shouldn't. I control my destiny, not they. Some of you might find those hard, but I genuinely believe and accept them to be true. My bank balance reflects my worth to the world, and if I want to change my bank balance, I need to change my worth to the world. If anybody else can do it, I can do it too, and it's me that controls my destiny, not anybody else, not the government, not society, not education, it's me. So specifically, let's look at service departments and a proven 7-step system as to how you can use service departments to generate significant wealth for yourself and for your family. Well, we have a diamond model, and this is the diamond proven 7-step system. So the D stands for discover. Discover where the service departments will work and where they won't. I stands for interrogate. All of the available systems, the intelligence, the people, the online systems, to discover what you will get paid per night before you even put the service department online. The A stands for acquire. You'll note I'm saying acquire, not buy. Buy is one of the 7 ways that will show you how you can acquire a property. Now, you can have the best apartment in the best place with all the best market research. Unless you market it, you'll have no customers. So the M in Diamond stands for marketing. The O stands for operations. How do I take payment? How do I get the cleaners there? How do I let people in? How much linen do I need? All of these questions, they're all fabulously important questions. They're all operational questions. The numbers, the KPIs. If you don't measure it, you can't manage it. Just because you're measuring it doesn't mean you are managing it. Which numbers do you and don't you need to report and manage on a monthly basis? And finally, once you've done all of those things, duplicate, duplicate, duplicate. Do it right with one, and then do it right with many. That's our proven 7-step Diamond system. That's what it looks like. We have each one of those squares or rectangles is a manual. Each one of the diamonds is a decision point. So we spent more than £20,000 in our systems with consultants to make sure that we had them absolutely nailed down in detail. The state we're in. I'm not really into excuses about the government. What I do know is the school system is fundamentally broken. Standard education gives you no insight into taxes. Which corporate system should we use? Should we buy our properties in our personal name? Should we buy them in an LLP? Should we buy them in a limited company? It tells us nothing. How do I optimize my tax? Did anybody learn that at school? What's the optimal leverage I should use for my portfolio? I didn't learn that at school. The school system is filled with worthy people delivering a curriculum that's for another age. John DeMartini, the futurologists, say 70% of people currently in employment will be unemployed in 5 years' time. That is how fast technology is changing. All the black cab drivers reacting against Uber. I think that's the wrong argument. What are either of them going to do when in 5 years from now, no car needs a driver? The standard educational system does not serve us. We need to educate ourselves, and we need to continually educate ourselves, taking advantage of disruptive technologies like service accommodation to make sure that we don't get put on the scrap heap of history. Go back to the Industrial Revolution, the Luddites. They didn't want machines. They wanted the machines not to exist so that they could continue to harvest in the field with their scythes, so that they could continue to whittle wood by hand. How did that work out? You cannot halt progress. You can, however, prepare and be part of the progress. So the traditional property investing model has evolved, and service accommodation is in the forefront. Health. Who here thinks that relying on the National Health Service is a really great idea for them and their family? I've had some personal up-close experiences of that over the last few years. A number of years ago now, my mother needed a gallbladder operation. She couldn't sleep, she was being sick all the time, she couldn't eat. But Mrs. Smith, we'll deal with that for you. We'll do it completely complimentary on the National Health Service. Because it's not life-threatening, we'll do that sometime in the next 3 years. Really? You want to let your mother not sleep, be in agony, and not eat for the next 3 years? What was the solution? The solution was get it done privately and write a cheque for £6,000. Now, most of the population in the UK cannot write a cheque for £6,000 because they haven't got the money. So if you want to look after your health and the health of your loved ones, you've got to do this. In order to give strong, you've got to be strong. And what I want to do is help you become financially strong so that you're not gambling with the lives of your loved ones. Pension. I hate this more than anything. The state pension, you save all your life, you do all the things the government tells you to do, and you get a wonderful heart-stopping £155.65 per week if you tick all their boxes. That is just rubbish. That is £700 a month. Who the hell can live on £700 a month? Even if your mortgage is paid off, even if you don't like eating, even if you don't like drinking, you cannot exist on £700 a month. We have to do something. We have to do something to help ourselves get to a position that we're actually financially independent. So, service accommodation in detail. What is service accommodation? It's normal flats and houses. We rent them by the night, by the week, or by the month. There's no tenancy agreement. We've got many different variants: luxury, family, and tradesmen. It's most similar to hotel accommodation. Why would you want to do service accommodation? Well, because you've got no tenant issues. You can't have any tenant issues because you haven't got any tenants. You've got guests. You've got zero bad debt. How on earth have you got zero bad debt? Because you take payment at the time of booking with credit card. They pay you up front in full or they don't get in. I've showed you the overview of our 7-step system. We've got a 7-step system to ensure your success. Now, putting all those things together, here's our plan. Our plan, my plan, Aniko's plan is by 2020, our businesses will be making £5 million profit or more per annum while we work 10 hours a week or less. I'm not saying that should be your plan. I'm saying that's a plan that you can aspire to, you can have, you can hold if that's what you want. Here's what Warren Buffett said on business. I love this. I love it, but it scares me because so many people don't understand it. Warren Buffett said this, and this is so true, so deep, so insightful. If you do not find a way to make money while you sleep, you will work until you die. If you do not find a way to make money while you sleep, you will work until you die. And most of us will. So, I'm going to introduce you to a good friend of mine now, David Siegler. Got a very short video from David Siegler, so just bear with me while I load up David's video here. Listen to David. Whenever you're ready, David.
Hello, my name's David Siegler. I am a traditional buy-to-let landlord. I've been investing in buy-to-let for many years now, and I went on Paul's service accommodation masterclass because I was concerned about cash flow in my portfolio going forward, especially becoming aware of all the tax changes and the disruption in the industry at the moment. So I wanted to increase my cash flow. So my very first project, it's a flat we've owned for years. It's a 3-bed maisonette in Havant in Hampshire, and the bottom line is, in February of 2017, we increased the net cash flow on that property by over £1,000 in the very first month. So if you're sitting on the fence, if you're not sure what to do, I thoroughly recommend Paul's Service Accommodation Masterclass. Go and join.
Okay, we're back. So if you want one-to-one mentoring, then myself and I could do that. We offer a one-to-one mentoring program. We offer the £20,000 Monaco Mastermind. May 2017 this year is sold out, and May next year we've got 5 places left. So I've got another video for you now, which is Catherine Turner. So let me share Catherine's video with you right now. Away we go.
Hi, I'm Catherine Turner, and I'm quite well known for running an Amazon business, but I do also have a property business. When I started in property, I flitted between different strategies. So I looked at single lets, then HMOs, then I even did a flip where I got some profit out of a property, but none of them seemed to really fit and resonate. And the trouble was with the single lets that I was finding that I had to put big chunky money in, but I was getting really little cash flow out. So I was then actually speaking with Paul Smith about service accommodation and what that could do, because at the time I was thinking of selling my single lets. I just didn't think they were worth it and that they could make the cash flow that I really needed to just be worth having that property business. And as I say, thanks to Paul Smith and him teaching me his great systems and knowledge around service accommodations, I knew there was another way. So thanks to his advice and knowledge and experience, I was able to take that very first single let that we had and change the cash flow from £200 per month into now well over £1,000 net cash flow every single month. And even one of our best months, we brought in over £3,000. Really just completely changed everything for us. So when we started with this, we had that first apartment for a little while just to test it and make sure this really worked for us. And in the last 6 months, we've added over 1 apartment every single month, thanks to the systems and knowledge that Paul and his team have shared with us. I'm so grateful to him. And if you're thinking about service accommodation as a strategy or a cash flow strategy for your property business, or maybe even changing your single lets and using your existing properties, it's a brilliant strategy and I encourage you to go for it. It has changed everything about our property business.
A quick example of one of our commercial conversions to service apartments. So here is Springfield House in Doncaster. Here's what it looks like on the inside. Here are some of the 5 flats that sits above our offices in Doncaster. So it's Springfield House. It's been commercially refinanced. It's been fully live for 10 months now. As a buy-to-let, the 5 flats would have rented out for £1,000 a month, £200 each per month profit. The first 9 months of operations, we took £53,601 of revenue, which gave us a profit of £21,000, which is many times what we would have got as buy-to-lets. So something like 5 times more than we would have received as buy-to-let. The biggest direct booking we've had so far is £3,700. Last month, we took 32-night booking for just one of those flats for almost £3,000. And plus, of course, we've got 3 offices for our service accommodation business on the ground floor. And we're looking at the possibility of our basement becoming serviced offices. So let's go back to the system again, the Diamond 7-step proven system. How can we partner with Booking.com? So here's the part you've all been waiting for. So Terry, are you there? Would you like to take over?
Hi, can you hear me?
I can hear you loud and clear.
Perfect. Firstly, thank you everyone for all of your questions so far in the comments box. And I want to say a special thanks to Paul and Aniko for inviting me to join the webinar today. A little bit about myself. Next slide, please.
Okay.
So I've been in the vacation rental team for the UK just for a couple of months now, but I've actually been with Booking.com for nearly 2 years. I actually started out 10 years ago now, I don't like to admit it, in the hospitality sector. Previous roles, everything from receptionist, housekeeping, up to general management and wedding and event coordinating. So you name it in the industry, I've probably been it. But Booking.com is something that I've worked with on the other side and been kind of similar to how you have been, where you're kind of using it as a platform. And obviously now I'm part of the Booking.com team. So next slide, I'm just going to talk to you a bit about what I'm hoping to cover today. So just obviously the introduction, a bit about myself, some general trends in travel. I know some of you wanted some extra tips on locations. A little bit about us as Booking.com and our platform. what we can offer to you specifically as a partner, how to start partnering with us, and I guess the most important bit at the end, which is the Q&A. So the next slide, which we'll go through, is just a bit about the trends in travel. So as you've been kind of mentioned before by lovely Paul, we are a global company. Not just in the sense that we attract global people, global guests, but we also have offices all around the world. So we actually are a global company. One of the biggest, I think, advantages for working with us is who we can attract to your apartments. So as a platform, we're currently attracting specifically to the UK market bookings from obviously domestic customers, Chinese, obviously getting bookings from America, Australia, Germany, France, Italy, Spain, Ireland, and the Netherlands. That's just currently the top 10 countries that are visiting the UK through Booking.com. We do have lots of different accommodations, but I suppose the most popular vacation rental properties at the moment in the UK are apartments, apart hotels, cottages, and holiday homes. The most interesting thing that I found since switching from just a normal account management and looking after a destination to specifically vacation rentals in the last couple of months is how much more higher your reviews tend to be on our platform. Guests love serviced accommodation. They love cottages. They love homes away from home. The review scores are a lot higher than the traditional bed and breakfast and hotel, and they stay longer, which is always a good benefit, especially if you want to reduce obviously cleaning costs and obviously booking costs. So a longer length of stay is certainly what we're seeing in the UK. Top cities: London, Edinburgh, Oxford, Manchester, Inverness, Liverpool, Bath, York, Cardiff, Birmingham. That's where we're seeing the top cities for people to actually book and stay in the UK. But we do have also a lot regionally, places like Devon, Cornwall, the Lake Districts. They are obviously travelling to these more rural locations as well for nice kind of family holidays too. I'm just going to go on to the next slide just to talk a bit more about us and kind of our global, how big we are. So we've touched kind of a bit on the travel trends, and I mentioned obviously that we are global, but some of you might not actually know that we did actually start off as quite a small business created by one man 20 years ago, who thought it would be a really great idea to set up a company where people can book, hotels or accommodation just online. It started in 1996 in the Netherlands with just one hotel, and it's kind of transformed 20 years later into this ginormous platform. Globally, we're currently working in not 190 but 226 countries worldwide. Yes, we are taking currently over 1.1 million bookings a day. We currently work with over 1 million different property types, which include over 2 million choices in vacation homes and apartments. Specifically in these regions which are highlighted, as you can see on the map. So yeah, it's massive. So not only are we obviously having accommodation in that market and those countries, but we also have local offices in around the world. Currently, we have over 180 local offices. We employ over 13,000 people, and we are trying to basically connect our customers, our partners, to basically go wherever they would like to go. We're trying to make the world an accessible place. I'm just going to go on to the next slide and just a bit more about, I guess, our mission really. As a platform, we hope to help leisure and business travellers, whatever the budgets, easily discover, book and enjoy the world's best places to stay. So we currently work, as I mentioned, obviously in 226 countries. We have 30 different property types on our platforms. So previously we were kind of, I suppose, renowned for just having hotels and bed and breakfasts on our site, but we very much have loads of different accommodation, including igloos. So if you ever want to stay in an igloo, definitely can book that on our platform. We've even got tree houses, and there's lots of boats in the UK that are currently booked through Booking.com. The reason why I guess it's accessible and easily booked all around the world is we currently operate with 42 languages. So not only do we have a 24/7 partner support team, we also have a customer service team that speaks 42 languages. So we're able to assist the guest and make sure that they are happy with their booking and are able to check in. We also have on our site, I think the one thing that we're the most proud of is we have over 104 million real guest reviews. So no one on our platform can actually review your property unless they've stayed. And you do actually have, as a partner, the opportunity to reply to those reviews. And it just creates a great trust in actually your property because they are genuine verified reviews. We also work with over 12,000 affiliates. So not only are we advertising your property on our platform, but we're also advertising you on other affiliates to help get you bookings. Affiliates like airlines like EasyJet, Ryanair, to very specific affiliate websites, maybe targeting accommodations that like pets, for example. And I suppose a little bit more about us in terms of where we're hoping to you as a partner to manage your business. We want to assist you to manage, whether it's an apartment in Bath, a vacation home in Cornwall, a lake cabin in the Lake District, even a teepee in Devon. We want to help you manage your business and obviously connect to those customers worldwide. So next slide is a little bit more about our platform. And our platform is ever changing. As a company, we actually gather data from the front end and customer behavior to make sure that we evolve it and make it an easy and accessible platform to use. Currently, we're working quite a lot on dedicated homes and apartments to make it more appealing to customers and make them aware of that option on our platform. So we currently have a dedicated homes and apartments landing page. We have an easy to search kind of box where guests can look for a location. It might be a city, it might be a landmark, and they can choose specifically how many people they are traveling with. Is it work? Is it kind of for leisure? When they're checking in, when they're checking out, and we're displaying your properties in an easy to search kind of option. With individual listings, as you can see currently on the platform. We also have filters, so if people want to filter by specific property types, they can. And we are ever working on it to obviously attract those customers to your properties. The biggest thing that I would say as a tip wise, if you are working on your individual listings, is just to think of it as if you were a customer. What would you like to see if you were going to stay at your platform? So making sure you've got great content, easy to describe descriptions and policies, just to make it as straightforward as possible for for the guest. I suppose unlike some of our competitors, we are an instant book platform. So as soon as the guest likes your property, they go to book your property, and they receive an instant confirmation that they are going to be staying at your property. And likewise, as a partner, you will receive that confirmation with their details. So it really is, I suppose, an instant book model is something that we really have always used. It's something that we will continue to do so. We've never charged a booking fee to our customers for our service, and we're extremely proud of that. From the point of view of obviously you as a partner, we do rely, as mentioned before, on a commission-based model, which is around about 15% globally on average, and that's based on actual confirmed bookings. So you're only charged commission after the guest has stayed, so after you've received that payment, and you basically are getting the advertising for free. You're not paying any setup costs, and you're certainly not paying for any monthly charges or subscriptions. We also, as a business model, we're giving you that 24/7 support from a local office. So not only are you assisted with obviously helping to set up your page, but also afterwards once the guest has booked, so you feel confident that you have all the support you need. I'm just going to go on to the next page, please, Paul. As a partner, this is what we can actually offer you. So we talked a bit about what we offer to our customers, but this is what we specifically can offer you as a partner. At Booking.com, we do offer a unique platform where we work in partnership with you to sell your product. We do have various tools to help you with your needs so that you can obviously run and hopefully sell as much as possible on our site. We've designed these tools really to help you as a business grow and to make your partnership with us more profitable. Having a partnership, as discussed, it requires no long-term contracts, no startup costs or annual fees, and we just work on that commission-based model. We do have an instant book platform, as mentioned before, so you will receive all the details, and you can process obviously the payments if you're trusted, and you can certainly just take the payment before arrival or at the time of checking, depending on what suits you. We will market you on the affiliate websites, and there is that 24/7 42 language support team, which is local to help you and your guests. As mentioned before about the guest reviews, they will not only help give you valuable insights into what people think of your property, but also what you could possibly do to improve it. And we also offer you other tools which, once you've joined us, make it easy to not only work with us in terms of running the business and receiving the bookings, but also gather additional information and data to help grow your revenue as well. At the end of the day, we are hoping that with our partnership that we help you to kind of grow your business and achieve what you would like to. So next slide. One of the things that we've really identified recently and we are constantly developing is not all partners are the same. Not all partners have that reception, that full staff of team to help run their business. So one of the things that we have created is the Pulse app, which is I suppose a property management app which allows you to run the extranet, so run your Booking.com listing on a mobile device. It provides you information of upcoming reservations, guest details, allows you to instantly send messages to guests and manage basically your rates and availability anywhere. We also offer additional tools. So on the next slide, you'll see something that we're currently working on called Rate Intelligence. And this is a free price comparison tool, which will allow you to compare competitors' prices day by day. will also allow you to see the demand to an area and see whether or not you need to adjust your prices. So again, that's something that we're working on to help our partners strategize and to optimize their pricing. It's something we're giving back to our partners if they've got compatible Extranet, and it's a free service that we're offering as well. On the next slide, you'll see something that we're really developing, and it's something that went live quite recently in the last year. It's called the Opportunity Centre. Aside from our pricing tools and the Pulse app, we do offer this Opportunity Centre, which gives you live recommendations of tips and tricks on how to boost your revenue based on actionable live data that we receive from customers looking at your city, town, location. We also look at opportunities that you might not even considered, of key business goals like increasing occupancy, reducing cancellations, and just improving your overall guest experience. We also give you high demand dates. So if you're looking to really optimize for a specific period, that's a really good Opportunity Centre to kind of check from time to time, just to see of what's coming into the area. And then finally, one of the things that I'm most excited about on our platform is we are giving our partners some real data, some analytics on what's actually happening at your property. So we call them Booker Insights. So who's booking your property? Where are they coming from? How long are they staying on average at your property? And this you can compare year on year, you can compare to the market, and it really gives you an idea of where you can increase your performance. As a platform, we realise that we're very good at what we do in terms of getting you bookings. We know that we can attract lots of customers worldwide, but as a partnership, we want to give back more. We want to help you basically improve your performance and to achieve what you would like to do in terms of sales. And this is something that if you are a partner with Booking.com already and you haven't actually familiarised yourself with the analytics tool, definitely worth spending 5 to 10 minutes on this analytics dashboard, because it will certainly give you some insights that you probably have to pay quite a lot of if you were looking on other channels. This information is updated daily, so it will give you some real live information about what we're seeing specifically for your property and obviously the area that you're advertising in. Next slide, please, Paul. I suppose the biggest thing that I've heard quite a lot about is joining Booking.com, specifically with serviced accommodations. A few people have said that joining our platform is maybe not as easy as joining other OTA websites. Paul did touch on this a little bit before about the reasons why. As such a large booking engine, we've really prided ourselves on kind of having that trusted status and that easy kind of user experience for the guest. And one of the things that they love about our platform with the Instant Book is they feel that they can book using our platform and receive a confirmation and can turn up at the property. So one of the things that we do as a partner is we make sure that we give that confidence to that guest, and also the confidence for the guest in your properties as well, by making sure that you are a genuine property. So the easiest way to join our platform is to go to join.booking.com and to put in your details. This will allow you to start registering your property. If you just have a normal property and would like to go live on our platform, we will send you a confirmation verification code in the post. Basically allows us to make sure that your property exists, and when you are confident and you are ready to go live, you can self-open with this verification code. It doesn't allow you to take prepayment straight away. That's something that we do kind of have to work on because of obviously the trusted status and working with our platform. So if you've been with us for a while and you've had some good reviews and you've you've had people turn up at your property, after a certain time, we will allow you to take prepayment on our platform. If you are a company that has multiple properties in lots of different locations, we do offer a service called whitelisting, and that is something that we do reach out to you specifically and offer with additional paperwork, basically proof of ownership, the ability to open your properties without this verification code when you're ready, and also take prepayment. I suppose the quickest way of doing that is to still go to join.booking.com and to register. My tip is to register the amount that you actually have. So if you think I'm just going to test our platform for one, but you actually have 50 properties, I would recommend listing that you have 50 properties, because we do have some options for those partners where we can reach out and contact you to get on the platform a lot quicker, whether it's assistance with onboarding or actually going through that whitelisted partnership. So that would be my tip, and I know that obviously Diamond Service Apartments are certainly offering that service as well, so do reach out to them if you want some more information on another service they're offering, but certainly going to join.booking.com and putting your properties in will help us onboard you. As mentioned before, Channel Managers is something as a platform we do connect to, and one of the things that you can, if you're looking to upload quite a lot of properties, is to register via the Channel Manager. So if you're looking for kind of options like Content API, that is something where you can register in bulk via suppliers like Rentals United, for example. You can bulk build on our platforms as well. So if you're lucky enough to own 50 properties, you can actually build in bulk and join our platform, and we'll be happy to assist you with the onboarding. So that would be, I suppose, my biggest tip. Final slide, please, Paul. I suppose just in summary of the reasons why to work with us is we are a world-leading website with over 2 million choices in kind of property types, including vacation homes and apartments. We have a 24/7 customer service with a 100% real reviews. There is global distribution of your vacation rental, so that is in 42 languages and on over 12,000 affiliate websites. We can offer you exclusive tools to help grow your business, as covered, and we can offer some extra tips for onboarding, including an API connection. I suppose the one thing that I guess you're all kind of hoping to receive from me today is probably some tips and tricks or some answering of your questions, and I'm happy to do that. So the final point of this section really is just a Q&A. So if anyone has any questions, which I'll kind of read out now, I'm happy to answer any questions. Please feel free to put some more in the chat box.
Thank you. That was great. Could I suggest, we are running slightly late, could I suggest that perhaps Annika and yourself deal with the chat box and answer the questions one-to-one? I need about maybe 10 more minutes, and then we could have an open Q&A. Would that be okay?
That sounds great. I'll keep on answering the questions in the chat box, and thank you very much for having me.
Well, thank you. You were absolutely wonderful. And the amount of questions, the amount of comments that were coming through saying, this is unbelievable. I'm so pleased I cancelled my arrangements and stayed in tonight. So thank you, Terry. That was perfect. Thank you. So let's move on to, we've already heard about Pulse. Let's show you what Pulse means to us. This is what Pulse means to us. This is what Pulse means. Every time we pick up our phone, it does this. It just keeps doing this, and then it does it again. And every time it does this, it's another booking coming in. It's another booking coming in, and another booking coming in, and another booking coming in. So if you want your phone to be doing that all the time, because unless you've got your phone on silent, that's what your phone does. And River Walk actually is where we are tonight. We're actually staying in our own service department in London tonight. So if you want to get your own back in terms of the Chancellor on the war on landlords, we can work with you one-to-one and show you how all of the tax changes aimed against the residential buy-to-let landlords just simply do not apply to service accommodation operators. We can show you a system that involves how you come out of personal ownership and you either move those assets into a limited company or a limited liability partnership. We have system after system after system for your entire service accommodation business. We can share with you how to get commercial lending. So we can share with you the details of Barclays, Lloyds, HSBC, Metro Bank and Santander. And if you don't want that, if you want a building society, we can share that too. Write this down, Market Harborough Building Society. So if you want to go check out various people to lend you money for service apartments, we can help you with that. We can help you create a pension that will leave you in an old age that you want to look forward to, as opposed to an old age that you dread. We can show you how to frustrate the tax man, and we can show you how to earn tax-free money. So I don't know how many of you out there fancy the idea of tax-free money. I'm going to guess most of you. So service apartments attract capital allowances. And if you want to learn how to claim your capital allowances that you are due, we want to work with you and we want to show you. Now, in a situation like this, you're in an aeroplane and the oxygen masks are coming down. You know what you're going to do first. They keep telling you every time there's a safety briefing, you've got to put on your own oxygen mask first. You can't put the oxygen mask on the other person until you are strong yourself. We want to put you in a position where you are financially strong so that you can help other people. And I've got a couple of final videos for you. So I'm going to show you a video now of, this is Kevin Paneskis. So just give me a second while I load that up for you. So here's what Kevin says about working with us.
Away you go.
Hi, I'm Kevin. I'm an ex-soldier and property investor with HMOs and single lets. I'm now also a serviced accommodation investor. Just in the month of January, one of my apartments actually earned more of £1,000 than my HMOs, so I'm extremely excited about this strategy. I went on Paul and Annaco's Service Accommodation Masterclass. Extremely knowledgeable, extremely helpful people and an excellent training team, which has enabled me to launch my service accommodation business. If any of you are thinking about getting into service accommodation, I can highly recommend it as an absolutely awesome strategy to be involved in, where you can transform your financial future. And I highly recommend attending Paul and Annaco's Service Accommodation Masterclass.
Okay, so let's look at the return that you'll get from UK PLC. What's your return on investment? You go to school, you get a degree. What's the average UK salary? Graduate versus non-graduate has actually gone negative now. The average graduate earns less than the average non-graduate, and the average salary is £26,497. Now, I'm not criticising that. I'm just saying that some people want a different way. So let's show you another one of our projects. Here's St Helens. This is a 4-bedroom house that we're turning into four apartments that we've got on Booking.com and the other platforms right now. That's what it looks like on the inside. There's the figures. So as a buy-to-let, would have had £408 cash flow. Last October, we achieved in just 1 month service accommodation cash flow to us after all costs of £2,226. So over the first 7 months, it's been operational. There's our revenue and there's our profit. So the actual profit we've received as an organisation from just that one property is £16,675. So if you would like to have projects like that, cash flowing like that for you, then we want to help you. What's our goal for 2016? Well, we wanted to run 3 service accommodation courses because people kept asking us, well, what are you doing? What are you doing? Where's all this money coming from? So we had an objective, which was to put in place 3 service accommodation courses and train 60 people. What we actually did was to have 15 service accommodation courses and we trained over 850 people. So what's our 2017 goal? Well, we want to train 2,000 people through service accommodation. And if 2016 was anything to go by, hopefully 2017, we should deliver this. We would never, ever ask anybody to do what we say. We want people to do what we do. It is not a good thing with anybody to say, do what I say. We want to lead by example. Now, if you're the sort of person that is committed, then I want to share with you the ancient wisdom of this wonderful philosopher Yoda. Do or do not. There is no try. I appreciate this won't be for everybody. If this is something that you want to do, if you want to work with us, if you want those kind of cash flows from those kind of properties, then this is what we want you to do. We have a service accommodation masterclass. It's 2 days. You can go onto our website, investinyourdreams.co.uk, and you can buy it right now for £2,297. Absolutely right now. But because you're on this webinar with us tonight, because we can, we're going to make you a very special offer. So for these dates, the 6th and 7th of March in Glasgow, well, we did want to offer you 23rd, 24th of March in Peterborough, but unfortunately it's sold out. 27th to 28th of April in Glasgow is a new date. The 4th and 5th of May in Peterborough. You can choose any of these 4 dates, and we're going to let you attend and come and work with us for any of those 4 dates. Our gift to you for staying with us tonight, we're going to let, instead of $2,997, which is what you would pay on the website, we're going to offer that to you for just $1,595 plus VAT. And I've put the offer up now, so you should be able to see the offer. Claim your place now. Join the 2-day service accommodation masterclass. Claim your place now. Just click on that link, invest in yourself, and completely change your future. So here's our gift to you, just $1,595 plus VAT, which is a massive saving versus the website price of $2,997. And we've got extra things for you as well. The first massive extra thing I want to give you is an absolutely rock solid guarantee. Here is my rock solid guarantee. If you invest tonight and you attend the service accommodation masterclass, listen to this. You can keep all the bonuses that I'm going to share with you just very, very shortly over the next few minutes. And if after spending 2 days with us, you're unhappy or you don't believe we've given you full value for money, then just tell me straight after the masterclass and I will give you a full refund. So I'm telling you, invest tonight. You can then attend the masterclass of your choice. You can keep all the bonuses I'm about to announce over the next 5 minutes, and I will personally give you a full 100% refund if you don't believe we've given you absolute value for money in that 2 days. So I don't really understand how you can lose here. Make that small investment, come on the masterclass. We'll allow you to keep everything that you've got, all the course materials. Come and spend 2 days with us absolutely for free. All you need to do at the end of that process is tell me that you don't think we gave you value for money. Simple as that. So the systems, the 7-step systems, we're going to give you each and every one of those 7-step systems. So just jump on that link and claim your place now. There obviously are limited places. So depending on which date that you want to book, you need to get in fast. If you're not fast, you're last, as they say. Just go and get your place now, and we're going to take you through all in detail of those 7 different steps. One very last video for you. This is a video of people who attended the masterclass recently. So hope you enjoy this video. It's just about a 2-minute video, and here we go.
We've got friends who are down in our area in Southend, and they told us, you really should get into service accommodation. It's a really good thing to do.
I was working at HSBC, contracting there, and doing some property on the side. We've been doing for a few years, but kind of just one property at a time.
We didn't pay much attention. We were too busy doing what we were doing. A year later, they've got several properties and they're making an extra 10 grand a month out of service.
I attended the service accommodation masterclass in June and got started straight away. We've got 2 properties so far, and we've got another 2 in the pipeline, both our own properties and also rent-to-rent properties as well.
That's when we started to get interested, and we found out what they were doing. It turns out they're doing it with Progressive Property and Paul Smith. We've followed in their footsteps. We've now got 5 units up and running, making an average of £1,000 a month extra.
So I am a landlord that has a couple of service apartments, and within the first 2 hours on the course I didn't realise some of the capital allowance savings I could save.
I came here without too many expectations. I've got an existing modest sort of portfolio.
Some of the things I thought I knew, as opposed to the things I'm actually learning today, is tenfold.
I can drastically increase the rental profit every month with a system that looks like I can systematise it so it won't drag me in too much once it's set up. So I'm quite excited about putting that into practice when I get back.
It's great to see what other people are doing, and it really drives you on, as well as giving you the tactics to actually kind of deliver on the strategy as well.
Your biggest regret when you've done it is you wish you'd done it quicker, because the amount of money you can get from it, as well as the financial freedom and time with the family and friends.
What kept me away from it before was kind of not knowing what I didn't know. And this course has really helped me in that direction, so it's brilliant.
You have to get educated. There's so many systems and processes, rules and regulations. You can't just stick your house on Airbnb and hope for the best. You're going to get in trouble. There's going to be breakdowns all over the place. You do this properly, you get educated properly, and you make really good money out of it.
Now, before we go over to the official Q&A, sorry, we're about 10 minutes late tonight. So I just want to go through your bonuses with you. So here are your bonuses when you sign up to the Service Accommodation Masterclass tonight. The first bonus is 100% cashback. We will actually pay you for signing up for this course, 100% cashback. Simply refer to other people. They sign up with us, and we pay you back the entire amount of money that you've paid to us, 1595 plus VAT. So the entire thing completely free. So refer two other people to us, they sign up, we pay you 1595 plus VAT straight away. So that's your first bonus. The second bonus, so I want to make sure that everybody knows all the bonuses that they're entitled to tonight. So you've got you can all see the offer that says join the 2-day Service Accommodation Masterclass, claim your place now. So just click on that and claim your place tonight. So you've got 100% cashback and you've got a 100% guarantee. We want to make this as affordable for you as possible. So here's your second bonus. The monthly support fee that we would normally charge, if you sign up tonight, we're going to waive that monthly support fee. There'll be no monthly support fee. You'll get ongoing monthly support and you will not pay a fee. So that is fantastic value right there. So let's stack these up. You've got 100% cashback if you're not happy. You've got 100% cashback if you just refer two other people to us. And you are going to get monthly support ongoing completely for free when you sign up this evening. Now, if you want to work with me one-to-one, well, normally the fee for myself one-to-one is £20,000 a day. For tonight only, for the first 17 people to invest in themselves, they're actually going to get a one-to-one with me completely free. Now, our systems are clever enough to know who's first and who's not first. So we've got hundreds and hundreds of people on the call tonight. And for the first 17 people, I've actually cleared my diary, I've made some space, and you're going to get one-to-ones with me completely for free. So go and claim your place right now. And so let's summarize the bonuses again. You've got a rock solid guarantee, 100% money back straight away if you don't believe at the end of the course that you've got value for money. Refer two other people to us and we're going to refund your course fees to you in full. We're going to waive your monthly support fees and we're going to give you a free one-to-one with me completely for free. And finally, if like many people, you've got active debt instead of passive income, we're sympathetic to that. So if you want to reserve your place tonight and claim these bonuses, just put down a small deposit of £500 and pay the balance before you attend. So this is the payment plan, £500 deposit. You can claim your place at this price now. And this will be valid to attend any of the courses that we run this year. So just a £500 deposit and you can reserve your place tonight and clear the balance before you attend the course. We want to make this as affordable as we possibly can for everybody. We do want to value people that pay in full. So some additional bonuses for people that pay in full. We're going to give the service department deal analyzer completely for free. And we're going to give the management contract that you need for rent-to-rent units completely for free also. So thank you. This is the very last slide, and deep apologies. I have overrun by 10, 15 minutes. Massive apologies for that. So thank you to each and every one of you here tonight, because I realize that you've got very busy lives and you could have been doing lots of other things. So for tonight only, for just 1595 plus VAT, you can join us. You can work with us for 2 whole days on the Service Accommodation Masterclass. You can claim all of your bonuses. We're going to go into a Q&A now, because we want to value and respect you spending your time with us, and we want to answer as many of your questions as we can. So I hope you've enjoyed the session. I can see people are signing up already. So well done to you. I look forward to working with you very soon. So I'm going to go over to the chat box now, and I'm going to start answering questions. And Terry, if you're there, are you still there, Terry?
Yes, I'm here.
Hello, Terry. So yes. So what questions are we going to ask, or are we going to answer first? Do you want to take 1 or 2? Because I've just flipped into the chat box. So over to you, Terry.
Thank you. There is quite a lot of questions. I am trying to certainly answer as many as I can. So let's have a look and kind of see what kind of new ones. One of the things I guess is the one that's commonly coming up is this verification code. This should typically take 2 weeks to receive. If you haven't received this verification code within 2 weeks, certainly in the extranet itself, you can request another one to be sent to you, or send a message to our local support, and they will certainly assist you with obviously trying to get this verification code as soon as possible. Someone has also mentioned that they registered their property, but they haven't actually got through to the building of the extranet and actually managing the rates and availability. This is something that's not normal. Essentially, it should be a matter of days, if not kind of a lot quicker than that, for once you've completed your registration, for it to be actually starting to build this extranet, which is your internal platform where you can manage the rates and availability yourself. If it's taking obviously more than a couple of days, then certainly please get in contact with support, and we're happy to help obviously speed that up.
Okay, perfect. This isn't a Booking.com question, Terry. This is a technical, well, it's a question about the course actually, so if you don't mind me just jumping in there.
Yeah, sure.
Daniel is saying, if I pay the 1595 tonight, can I bring my partner along for free? Nearly, Daniel. Okay, so what we do, the standard process we do is, and you can actually you can do this online. Oh, sorry, you can do this through the booking link. If you want to bring a partner or a business partner with you, so, you know, a life partner or a business partner, the second person is just half price. So second person is just half price. And I should also mention that on the course, what we'll show you how to do is reclaim all of the VAT, because you know, VAT is a tax, and if you set the business up in the right way, you can reclaim that tax. And the final thing I would say about that is 100% of the 1595 is a pre-tax expense. So if you're a 20% taxpayer, if you're a 40% taxpayer, we'll show you how to reclaim all of the tax against that. So once you've got the VAT back and 20 or 40% tax back, realistically, it's going to cost you about half that price. So great point there. Thank you, Daniel. So I've got lots of people signing up saying, am I one of the 17? I don't know, because I'm not looking at that system, but yeah. So do you want to take another one? Do you want to take another one there, Terry?
Yeah, one of the questions that we're getting is about how to boost your sales. So there is obviously the Opportunity Centre that will give you tips and tricks on how obviously to work on real issues to help increase your sales in conjunction with the analytics dashboard. If you are lucky enough to qualify, there is additional options like Genius and Preferred, which is available to, I suppose, our best performing partners. Essentially, if you're reviewed well and you're converting guests into to bookers once they've visited your site, those are options that can increase your visibility. There's a lot more information about that and other tips and tricks on partnerhelp.booking.com, and that's kind of like your user guide to our platform with frequently asked questions, and kind of like a mini Google where you can search for questions and kind of answer that as well.
Thank you, Terry. And I'm sorry, I'm being boring and practical again. A couple of people have just said, can you put the dates back again? So I've just reversed the slideshow back to display the dates. So 6th and 7th of March in Glasgow, which is quite soon. What's that? It's not even 2 weeks, is it? It's around about 2 weeks from now. 23rd, 24th March, Peterborough. It's completely sold out. And by the way, these venues, Glasgow is extremely close to the Glasgow airport. It's like 3 miles away from Glasgow airport, so it's just like around the corner. And if it makes any difference to you, we do half the courses in Glasgow, half the courses in Peterborough. The ones in Glasgow are at Auchentoshan Distillery. So if you fancy a course in a whiskey distillery, then this is another reason why you might want to come and see us. And the ones in Peterborough are all at Progressive Property, our partners in Peterborough. So you got a choice between the Centre of the Property Universe, Peterborough, or a whiskey distillery. So choose whichever one you want. And Anil is saying, any other dates after 4th, 5th of May? Yes, Anil. We have, so if you want to do it, but you can't make these dates, we have at least one date per month for the whole year. So, and we've got a mixture of weekdays, weekends, and all sorts of things. So if you're thinking, can I do this? Can I make the dates? Book your space, speak to our team tomorrow, or our team will call you. And if by some miracle you can't make any date for the whole of the year, then we'll happily refund you your money, 100% in full, no questions asked. So I'm totally confident we've got a date that will fit you. These are just the next 4 dates coming up. Well, the next 3 dates realistically, because one of them sold out. So, okay, here's an interesting one. I'd be interested in your take on this one, Terry. This is from Mark. He says, how much difference is there between Airbnb and Booking.com when it comes to bookings? There's an open question. What are you going to say to that, Terry?
I would say that we do have quite a lot of bookings. We are the #1 booking site that has been proven in terms of volume. But I would say specifically it's something that you need to kind of see yourselves. And I always ask the question to other partners that are currently working with both platforms and kind of and see how many they generate themselves, because each property is specific, obviously, to location. And I think there is a benefit for actually being on multiple websites. So, they might tell me off for saying this, but as someone who has been in the industry for a very long time, I don't see why it should be one or the other. In fact, I think if you want to advertise and get as many bookings as possible, it is great to be on as many sites as possible. Hopefully you will join us. But yeah, it's more, I guess, property specific.
Can I also just add to that our experience?
Can't hear you, Annie. So Annika was trying to talk. Well, she was talking, but you couldn't hear her. So while Annika is trying to sort out her technology, thank you for that, Terry. Very refreshingly honest. Thank you. So if it makes any difference out there in internet land, Diamond is currently advertised on 38 different OTAs. And we also have non-OTA. We really haven't talked about the non-OTAs. So here's a few for you. Silver Door are the biggest. So it's silverdoor.co.uk. However, you need to have at least minimum 8 properties or they're not going to entertain talking to you. And there are other non-online booking agents like Situ, SITU. But these are all really for perhaps bigger portfolios. And then there's a whole different category that kicks in when you've got 30 and 50 properties. So if you want to talk about those, maybe PM me direct, because very happily share the various engines and non-engines that we're with. I would say this, Mark. I think it's almost as simple as this. in certain cities, or let me be even more specific, in 2 cities, you might be able to get away with just using Airbnb. The first city that you might be able to get away with, I think that's what Annika was going to say, she's nodding at me. The first city that you might be able to get away with just using Airbnb is London. And the only other city in the UK that you might be able to get away with just using Airbnb is Edinburgh, because those are the number 1 and the number 2 cities for Airbnb. I don't know about the world, but I do know about the UK. However, I would ask you this. Why would you not, even if you're on Airbnb, why wouldn't you be on Booking.com as well? I think that would be mad. So I really meant it when I said it earlier. If you're trying to run a service accommodation business, that's like trying to run an e-commerce business without using Google. It's just not possible. You really, really have no reasons not for being on Booking.com. It's the biggest by a mile. Probably for most of you let's say you've got 2 or 3 properties. I'm going to give you this as a prediction, and you just go out there and prove me wrong. Booking.com on its own will give you 80 to 85% of your bookings for the first year. Airbnb might give you 5%, and all the others put together might give you another 10%. So if you've got a choice between getting 80 to 85% of your bookings through one engine, or 15% of your bookings through 15 or 20 or 30 other engines, do the maths. You have to be on Booking.com. And I'm not saying that, Terry, just because you're there and because I like you. I'm saying it because it's true. Booking.com is massive. And even now today, we as a mature service department business with quite a few units, get more bookings from Booking.com than everyone else put together. So I don't know if that answers your question, Mark. I hope it does. But ignore Booking.com at your peril. So sorry for the rant there, Terry, but
It's nice. It's nice to hear some support, obviously, for our platform. I'm not going to lie. It's nice to hear a positive spin for it. But yeah, certainly, I don't see why you can't advertise on lots of different platforms. Certainly, at the end of the day, what you're hoping to achieve is the most possible business, right? Do we want to get that pension, as you mentioned? Want to get as
we do. So,
there's quite a few.
Sorry for the slight rant, but let me just, one specific. We were courted by some Italian booking engine, and we eventually gave in and sort of signed up with them. I think in the last 2 years we've had 1 booking or something. I mean, it's just like crackers, absolutely crackers. So sorry, I've got one more specific here. Daniel is saying really interested for the 4th, 5th of May in Peterborough. We'll book tonight if we can secure. I don't really understand the question, Daniel. Okay, Anniko's. You've given your email address there, Daniel, and Anniko's going to get back to you. So sorry, Terry, you were about to say something.
Oh, I'm just some of you are kind of messaging about specific properties. Normally, I wouldn't say obviously giving out that information because that is obviously a real security kind of issue. But if you have got any specific questions that you want me to have a look at, if you can just put your name of your property, I'll be able to find it that way and kind of message you back privately. Just for obviously security reasons, I wouldn't kind of give out that information.
Wow, Terry, thank you. I really appreciate that you are really going the extra mile. Are you still on holiday, by the way?
I am on holiday. I've come back to the office to specifically do this webinar. The lovely Storm Doris did actually take out the Wi-Fi in my house, so I've actually come to the office specifically on my day off for tonight.
Thank you. So I'm sure I speak on behalf of everyone here, Terry. You've been absolutely fabulous. There's still hundreds of people on the call, which means they're getting massive value for this. And so from me to you, and I'm pretty sure I'm talking for everybody here, I mean, number one, thank you for being with us tonight. And thank you ×2 for interrupting your holiday to be with us tonight. And thank you ×3 for not only being on holiday, but also leaving your house to actually go back to the office. So brilliant. Thank you very much.
No problem.
I've got people, you can see this here, can't you? Abby, Terry, you are brilliant. Yeah, anyway, they love you, Terry. So,
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, so we're coming up to 10 o'clock. So I'm going to suggest this. I'm going to suggest maybe you do one more question and maybe I'll do one more. Is that okay, Terry?
Yeah, sounds good with me.
All right.
I'll let you go first.
Well, I was going to be polite and let the woman go first, but okay, I guess I can go first, as you've told me to. I recognise a lot of these names on here. So we've got lots of specific stuff. I'm just scrolling down looking for a more general question. Okay. Well, actually, it's probably more of a Terry question than a Paul question. So this is Anil. This is a wild guess, but I'm going to guess that's Anil from Cardiff because I don't know too many Anils. I've got 3 apartments in one block and 1 apartment in another block. Will I have to create another ad? Well, I could give your thoughts on this afterwards, Terry, but if you've got 3 apartments in one block and then 1 apartment in another block, as an absolute minimum, you've got to have 2 adverts, 2 listings. And you'll call it an advert. I think listings might be a more sort of generic term for it, Anil. So you really can't put 4 apartments on 1 listing in 2 different places. So as an absolute minimum, that's 2 listings. So what would be your take on that, Terry?
Yeah, absolutely right. So for a listing, we essentially say a listing or an advert is essentially for one address. So think of it as one front door to a building block, for example. So each listing needs to be for that building block. If you have properties around the corner, it might even be next door. It would still need to be a separate listing, purely for the fact that just think about it from a customer point of view and the experience they have, trying to, 1, find the location, and 2, make sure they have the right details. So it's really, really important that you have the listings for the specific address. And likewise, if you've got kind of lots of properties in one building, don't be afraid to put them under 1 listing. There's actual great benefits from having multiple units under 1 listing. 1, if with service accommodation you have a long-term rent out, your additional apartments or properties within that same listing will give you visibility. You'll also be able to get a lot more data on multiple properties about the surrounding area and how you're performing versus 1 property specifically.
Okay, that's what you just said there. That's a lot of information. So I hope people were listening to that. Anil has just come back to me and said Birmingham, smiley face. So okay, I know 2 Anils now. I know Anil Cardiff and Anil Birmingham. I'm actually going to take a cheeky little extra question. Peter is saying to me, could a 5-bed HMO be converted to SA? Yes. So for anyone out there that's listening that maybe doesn't know what a 5-bed HMO is, that's a house of multiple occupation. So that is 1 building, 1 house that's actually got 5 separate lettable rooms. We do that, Peter. We've got several of those. All of ours, the standard we've chosen to adopt is that all of ours, just right from the get-go, all of our HMOs have got ensuite bathrooms. So what we're letting out is a bedroom with its own dedicated bathroom. And then all that we're asking the guests to share is a kitchen, which seems to go down quite well. So we have a number of those. So your question, Peter, is can it be done? Yes. How do I know that? Well, because we do it. So, okay, Terry, do you want to pick maybe one last one to?
Yeah, and I guess I think people think Booker.com is just for I suppose leisure guests. We actually do have lots of different customers coming to us. So some people do mention about the different types of accommodation they have and quality of accommodation. And I do say there is a market for all different types. So if you're looking for kind of builders or people that are looking for long-term rents, certainly in the week, working with OTAs will help tap into that market as well. And we also do a lot with the business business customer. So if you're looking for specifically someone who's looking for Monday to Friday, we can attract them on our systems as well. So there is a market for all different types of customers with all different budgets as well.
Well, again, you're absolutely on point and correct, Terry. And for the first year and a half, it's probably the majority of our customers were tradesmen, builders, plasterers, plumbers. They absolutely do climb onto, well, not only Booking.com, all of the OTAs, because like everybody else, they're looking for good value, good quality accommodation. So no, it is absolutely not all leisure travellers. There's a hell of a lot of business, and when I say business, that includes trades and self-employed and all those kind of businesses as well. So, okay, are we ready to sign off, Terry? Do you think?
Yeah, I think it's been a great evening. There is a couple of questions I haven't quite answered yet. So to Daniela and Vorna, I will be getting back to you afterwards and sending a message via your extranet. To everyone else, thank you very much for inviting me today and for letting me answer your questions, and hopefully you'll kind of continue to work with us. My final tip really would be, if you are an existing partner, please go to partnerhelp.booking.com. It's basically your go-to your trusted kind of tips and tricks one area. So definitely would be my final sign off, to go to partnerhelp.booking.com.
Wow, you just keep on, the gift that keeps on giving right to the end. Absolutely fabulous. So thank you, Terry. Thank you to each and every one of you. You've all been wonderful. Annika's been sat here quietly. She's waving at me now. She's been typing away like a demon for the last 2 hours, answering all the questions one-to-one. So thank you to Annika. Thank you to Terry. Thank you to each and every one of you. You've all been wonderful. As always, I've been Paul. Good night.